Hello, hello. Hello to everybody. So this is one of our lives where Toby Kane and I and myself all things to do with well-being in a different aspect to what you would normally expect. We're not just talking about laughter, but how laughter can help us, including other things. So today we are talking about communication, connection with possibly ourselves as well as everybody else. Hi, Toby. Welcome.
Hi, Sarah. Yeah, that's a very good point that you make. People often, when they think about relationships, their minds start moving out to other relationships. And of course, the primary relationship that we have is with
Because we're
ourselves. So,
stuck with ourselves forever,
yeah.
right? God help us.
Who's the one person who's going to be with you? I often ask that in training, who's the person you speak the most to in your whole life? And people will talk about their partners or a sibling or parents, and eventually they realize it's themselves.
Yes, it's so true. It's so true. We're stuck with ourselves, so we might as well have a good life.
Yeah.
But um, what I want to explore today is how we're communicating with other people, how we are connecting with other people, and with in the laughter yoga world, it's magical. I think that it's just astounding
Yeah.
what connection we have with non-verbal communication, with literally laughing with other people to um and play must come into it.
Yeah.
Play has to come into that communication connection, uh,
Yeah.
and the and emotional intelligence as well. We need to have a
This,
touch on.
this
But
is, yeah.
I suggest we talk for about 10 to 15 minutes.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Welcome
love that.
everybody who is watching this today.
And happy Valentine's or
And
Galentine's or however you are experiencing your life.
Galentine's. So I've been at the Learning Disabilities group handing out little heart stickers. And I said
Oh,
one for you and one for a friend. And the person who was dancing, doing the Bollywood laughter dance with me, she said, "It's for you, Sara,
oh,
for you."
darling.
So I have her little heart.
That is so sweet. I have this quest where I look for hearts in everything. And yesterday I saw two in an unexpected way. The first one was the way some branches were shaping and they looked like a heart. And the second one was just unexpectedly, I was walking and I happened to look down and I saw in, like in a grid, like a manhole type of thing, there was a heart shape on it. And I was like, look at this. The more you look for them, the more you find them.
It's
So,
incredible, isn't it?
yeah,
It's incredible.
yeah.
No, we're when we connect, not just you and I, but when everybody connects with laughter, we're bonding. We're making a special bond. Do you agree? We're making that special bond with people, and it's not just on the outside; it's on the deep inside, and we're able to kind of read how people's emotions are a lot better because we've switched off the analysing part of our brain and working on the creative part, the right hand side when we're laughing. So so I find it fascinating that it's actually been proven that it it really does connect and help us to detect people's emotions a lot better and bond with people a lot
And I
better.
think what we're looking at when we unite confidence with communication and doing that under the umbrella of laughter yoga, we can do that in such a holistic way that we advance our emotional intelligence. So we are generally born with our IQ, but we can expand our EQ, which is lovely. You know, there are various stages. I've written a short article about it, which again we can share as a resource if anybody would like it. It's about how kids at the progression, when do they, for example, we've all seen kids that block their ears when there's a loud noise or hide from something. And these are various stages in their emotional intelligence as it begins to unfold. So, for example, a 4-year-old, that's when the strategies start to develop as they begin to manage disturbances that they don't like. So, emotional intelligence, the threefer. The first part is awareness of our thoughts and feelings and behaviors, our thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. The second part is, like Sarah was saying, awareness of the other thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. And the third part is managing yourself in circumstances and in conditions. And I'll hand back to you, Sarah, saying, of course, that the wonder of laughter yoga is that it invites a connection with unconditional laughter for this holistic healing.
Yeah, and it is completely unconditional. So we're not telling jokes to each other. You know, if it's partners or friends, we're not telling jokes to each other. We are doing simulated laughter exercises, which very quickly become genuine, with the intention that it's not only fun, but you get all the benefits of, well, there are so vast benefits, but the connection benefit of strengthening relationships, existing relationships. And I can easily take you back history of my relationships. There are many, and 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 the best relationships have been the ones with laughter, with just having fun. You know, I was in a relationship for going on 20 years, and I didn't laugh with that person. I can't even remember ever laughing with that person. And you know, it creates memories, because you will remember when you have laughed with somebody, most likely, because it's just a very, you know, you've made memories. Basically, your memory will remember the good times if you let it, rather than the bad times.
The good thing about laughter yoga is that if you're in a relationship that is in that way, perhaps not as fulfilling as you would like it to be, and many of us have those kinds of relationships, could be with a colleague or something like that. The wonderful part about the laughter yoga, using that, is that it supersedes the existing connection and actually creates a better one that is beyond culture. So when we're at work, we have a workplace culture, and that is defined by the values set up in the workplace and the behaviors that you're expected to perform when you're at work. But that culture is sometimes slightly outside of the culture that you come from in yourself. Where laughter yoga once again jumps in, it's like the superhero with its cape flying and laughing in the breeze, is that laughter yoga doesn't rely on the cultural conditioning of humor. So it doesn't matter what your background is, and it doesn't matter what your current conditions are. Laughter yoga with teams, even strangers, creates that connection. So it's really quite extraordinary to see that. We can show an example here. One of the connections that we like to do with laughter yoga is, let's just think of one, Sarah. I'm thinking of...
I didn't before, really, but...
I'm thinking of, you know, for example, if you do gradient laughter with a group. And if you can try this with us if you're watching now or on the repeat. Put your hands together like this so that there's no gap between the baby fingers, right? And then inhale, and then begin a short, small little laugh, very light, very soft, and begin to open your hands. And the more the hands open, the louder the laughter gets. Sarah and I will demonstrate this for you. This is known as gradient laughter, and I'm using the hands just to help us depict it more. And you can do this with a complete stranger. So here we are, breathing in. Hold it for a bit, build the negative pressure, and then which is very good, very good.
Yeah, I like I was reading the other day about our brains being conditioned to actually stop laughing. And interestingly, somebody told me as well the other day that their son was gifted with an infectious laugh from when they were a tiny baby. It was an infectious laugh, okay? And that carried on throughout his life, you know, he's a teenager or whatever now. And of course, he was conditioned at school and warned about his laugh, which I was like, oh, that is so sad that he has been told, you know, it's not the thing to do is to laugh, because he had such an infectious laugh that all the school would be laughing if he was in an assembly or whatever. So, but I feel that was a gift that he was given to cheer everybody up, and what a shame that the school didn't relish that and, you know, take him on board to do laughter yoga. It would have been incredible. So yeah, it's all about being conditioned from such an early age that you have to be serious. And I can see Gavin Oates is on the call here, and he works with schools for the Tree of Knowledge. We are so conditioned to be serious, and it's time to break down those barriers and get real. And as Gavin says, the belly fire, have the belly fire inside you, and laughter yoga is a way of getting that belly fire back inside you and being your authentic self, really. And then you can be confident of creating those relationships. With whoever, with your friends, your partners, your siblings, your children. And I did share in my feed a little while ago about a mum who was shouting, being angry with her children. I don't know what I told you last week. She was being angry with her children, and through coming to laughter yoga classes online, she started doing laughter yoga exercises with her children, and that bond came back together, and that anger stopped. And I think that is such a huge transformation in just one life. So that she created her own, you know, special caring and sharing relationship with the children. So that's just like one example. There must be thousands like that, where you know, families, couples, children have benefited. So yeah.
I love to hear that, Sarah, because I've had a few incidents where, you know, I'll be running a session and a mom will say, is it all right if my child joins? And the child will be quite reticent or fearful or anxious. And yet, I suppose, in a way, each one of us has that inner child that is reticent or fearful or anxious anyway. And this is a reflection of our growth in emotional intelligence. I can recall when the war in the Ukraine first broke out, we had a great number of refugees arrive in Ireland. And I was doing sessions for them where I couldn't teach about the benefits of laughter yoga. I couldn't explain scientifically about the cardiovascular improvement, about the immunity boost, about the lung enhancing wonder, about the pain relief, about better sleep. All that I could do was invite people, and there I had children, families working together at different levels, and eventually I could was only able to communicate almost like a Simon Says type of thing. I would do something, they would do something, and as it, you know, a person's natural tendencies, whether you are more extrovert or introvert, will be reflected anyway. But it was so fascinating to see people growing in that session. And this is the thing with laughter yoga, it is one of the shortest yogas in the world because it offers you a response immediately. You get the result immediately after the laughter. So the way I do that is a lot of play. I like to do active play, you know, things that do involve the belly, things that involve active expressions. And, you know, like people will very often resist lion laughter because culturally they're not used to having their tongue out. We know that it's great because it activates the diaphragm. We have 3 lobes of the one lung and 2 on the other side, but to activate the deeper laugh, doing the lion laughter is a child loves that. And it is so sweet to see them doing their thing. But Sarah, it's also a way for them, when we're talking about managing our emotional intelligence, we're not saying we're squashing our emotions. We're actually releasing them, acknowledging them. And if somebody has anger, lion laughter is one of the most brilliant ways to release it.
Yeah, I like that. And doesn't it exercise the thyroid gland as well? Isn't that right? Yeah.
What's good about that also, we have our thymus gland here in the middle of our chest. When we're small, the thymus gland is very big, and that is because as a baby, I mean, babies are in their prime at a place of disconnect from conditions. They just are free to express themselves. They'll be crying and laughing in the same breath. You know exactly what I'm talking about. And actually, the thymus gland starts to reduce as we get older from more and more conditioning. But the thing is, with laughter, it stimulates the thymus, and that's where our T cells are produced. These are natural killer cells, which are actually cancer-fighting cells. So the connection with immunity and laughter is very, very close.
It is, yeah. And did I ever tell you the story of when I went on leader training and I was coming down with a cold. I had one of those horrible headaches and like all the sinuses and stuff. And I said to the trainer, "Oh, you know, I don't feel very well." And she said, "Oh, stay away. You know, if you have to attend this training, just stay clear of anybody. Don't cough." And I was like right in the corner. And by the end of the first day, the symptoms had almost completely gone. By the end of the second day of training, they had completely gone. And I would never have understood the power of laughter if that hadn't happened as regards your immune system. I think it was just an incredible thing that, you know, if somebody says, "I don't feel very well," I say, well, if you feel up to laughing and your throat doesn't hurt, you know, because it obviously does exercise your throat as well. If you feel well enough, then just do some gentle laughter because it will help your immune system.
Great.
So yeah, it's a fabulous superpower.
Run through 10 quick strategies to improve your emotional intelligence and connection and communication. The one is practicing self-awareness. And in laughter yoga, we have this exercise where we make our thumbs go towards us like ha 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 ha, or we can point at ourselves ha 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 ha. That's also nice when we've made a mistake and we can just laugh about that. Next one is cultivating empathy, and we often make the heart shape to ourselves, to each other, and we laugh ha 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 ha. We find there's this small little heart there, so cute, tiny little heart. Developing emotional regulation is another way, and that's where we'll take a class through the classics of mad, bad, sad, and glad. So we could do mad laughter, mad laughter, sad laughter, glad laughter. And when people experience all those rapid emotion changes, you can see you're not just in one mood. You can shift through your moods. And we know from laughter yoga that we are showing the cyclical nature of motion creating emotion. So we can, you know, a low mood can create slow behavior. More behavior can create better mood. Enhancing social skills. We'll often do a pretend greet and pull away, or like ha ha, or a high five, something like that. Or we could pretend we get a shot like whoa. So that's quite a fun one. Another one is building strong relationships, and that's where we'll get often people just into pairs, and they can just literally make eye contact with each other and simply begin with a smile. And start to mirror each other. We have mirror neurons in our brains that actually recognize the other, and we factor that in. So there are 4 more. Communicating effectively. Gibberish is fantastic for that. Exactly like that, quite right. So there you saw Sarah and I demonstrating active listening, picking up on the conversation and following on, encouraging emotional expression, like I was saying. That's quite nice. And that's fun because it's, you know, we recognize those chief ones, but we can have sly ones. Like we could have, you know, what is the difference between jealous and seductive? You know, like jealous is like, but so is seductive. It's just slightly softer. That often brings a laugh, and it's fun to see that. So we're not trying to be funny, but we do have fun. And let's face it, even at work, especially at work, we need to have more fun. Okay, we're nearly at the home stretch now. Continuous learning. This is the thing. Science used to think we had a certain point of optimal efficiency in the brain, and now we know with neuroplasticity we can keep learning. We see it in old age homes, Sarah, don't we, when we do for senior care homes? Simple things like just doing these connections or brain exercises or just patting a balloon back and forth to each other keeps the neurons
brain gym exercises, you know. It's amazing how many people can't actually do them, but once they repeat them, they can do them, and it's just creating new neural pathways in the brain, isn't it? So it's kind of vital, really, for your to help stop dementia forming in the.
Anything, it's on the increase, and we know that I was in a conversation today with some trainers in America, and they said, you know, people are aware of the need for transformation, but they're not willing to make the investment in it, in time and effort and money. So we know there's a great need. We are just so enthusiastically saying it's simpler to access. You can use the strategy of laughter yoga. We can help. 2 more to go. Cultivating a positive mindset. The more you laugh, the more you laugh. So we know it often happens. You drop something, normally you get upset. With laughter yoga, you just go, ha 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 ha.
Laugh it off,
So,
don't we? We laugh it off.
I mean, I did a series for Dr. Katari on free floating hostilities, and that video it's on his YouTube channel. People just love it because it's all the things we know. Stepping in dog poo, you know, thinking you know someone, seeing that's not them. And finally, just practicing emotional intelligence through the awareness, like noticing if I'm feeling low, what can I do? And we've given you a lot of examples already in this live today. So thank you very much. Thank you all of you for being on and for joining on today's session. It's been very, very
Yeah, and let us know if you've tried some of these exercises in the comments. If you let us know afterwards, we'll be checking to see see if you tried laughter yoga with us. and then we give you a medal. There you go.
People always want to bite their medal to check that it's real. Yes, it's real.
Oh. So next week will be the last in this series. We're talking about laughter is the best medicine.
Oh.
It's just a phrase that comes up time and again. It's a big search hashtag, actually. Would you believe?
Yeah.
And of course, if you're in the laughter yoga world, you will know that it's the best medicine. But we're just gonna we've touched on it a little bit today, actually. But we're going to go a little bit more in depth and just share how important it is to laugh. And yeah, there we are.
Yeah,
It can't replace all medicines, but it will help you be healthier. And that's the main thing that we're after, really, is to have a happier, healthier, and more peaceful life with the well-being tool with the superpower. So thank you very much for joining us. Thank you, Toby, for a wonderful chat yet again. And look forward to delivering leader training with you on this Friday, the
really
16th of February. That is come around so quickly, and so excited to
it's going
have
to be
a whole weekend of sharing laughter.
oh,
How magical will that be?
I think there's going to be quite a few videos coming.
Quite a few videos, quite a few sore tummies and sore cheeks. Oh, I don't want to laugh anymore after those 2 days. Well, not for an hour or two.
Thank you both, and happy Valentine's. I love that.
Happy Valentine's, Galentine's or whatever.
Thank you so much, Sarah.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Toby. Take care. Have a great
Bye.
evening. Bye.
See you tomorrow.
Great week. Bye. Bye. To be on replay in a short while.